Welcome all. Thank you all for joining today. So we are in halfway, 25 days now. Today's 25th day. Yeah. So please be seated in a comfortable position, masters. Relax your shoulders. Take out your glasses. Cross your feet. Clasp your fingers and gently close your eyes. And start observing your natural, kind, soft, tranquil breath. Let go all of your thoughts. Let go of the past. Forget the future. And be with your present moment. Be with your breath. The natural inhale and exhale breath. Be with your breath. 1 minute, masters. Seconds. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unclasp your fingers and place them on your eyes. On my count, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently open your eyes and look at your palm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, masters. Thank you, Patriji. Thank you all for joining today. I'll invite Pari ma'am to take over on a topic.
Hi Navya, thank you. Thank you very much for this beautiful meditation. Welcome everyone to ReInvent Yourself, the 10th edition presented by PSSM Global. So amazing that I'm seeing everyone here again. And today we have a very interesting topic. But before that, I would love to ask you your experiences. How is it going? How are you feeling? After almost we are over midway now, we are almost at the end, and I see beautiful Suma, I see beautiful Shashi, welcome. And the pyramid, I love seeing Suma with her pyramid. It's amazing. And today we are talking about energy tools, so a big boost for that. Okay, so let me see if anybody would like to share anything, comment, how is it going, what's happening. Please feel free to share in the comments. I would love to know. And I see Ruchita. Welcome, Ruchita, for this Reinvent Yourself. I'm really amazed that that you are committed to 40 days. It is such amazing, so amazing. Really, congratulations for doing this. It's a great achievement. It's not easy to be here 40 days. So it is, and thank you, Navya, for being here, for holding the space. Every day, Navya's message promptly comes in the group. We have an admin group. And then every day I see, okay, who is doing the meditation, who is taking the topic. Every single day. When I see Navya, I feel so happy that, she's holding the fort in taking in leadership. And that's where she does. Nobody told her to take the leadership. She just it's a proactive thing that she took the leadership. Okay, nobody is responding, what is happening today, who is leading the session, and that is where I see her being a leader. Without her, nobody told her to do, nobody gave her a title to do, she took the leadership. And I think that is the trait of a master. So Navya, super congratulations for showing your leadership skills there.
Thank you, thank you.
And this is what we talk about. So my father always would say, everybody is a master. In today's terms, everybody is a leader. So nobody hands you over a project and say, okay, now you are a leader, now you go lead. No, it's something that we own, we take up, we initiate, and we show up when the time comes. And the leadership is not about always leading, it's also about following. It's also about knowing when to lead and knowing when to follow. So that is the true trait of a leader. So I'm so amazed that this whole project is happening seamlessly. And of course, I spent the weekend with Shashi. By the way, guys, we had an amazing time in California, in Bay Area. So I had a wonderful, wonderful time. We spent the Valentine's Day together in a beautiful, amazing Indian restaurant. Ate a lot of food there. So it is in Dublin. If anybody wants to go, I'll definitely share the name. So thank you, Shashi, for hosting us. It was amazing. Okay, so let's get to the topic. I'll start sharing. This is again one of my favorite topics. We've spent quite a bit about energy tools, and one of the reason why this particular topic has been included in reInvent is because we have a lot of coaches, healers, Reiki healers, pranic healers, yoga teachers join this course. So, and most of them ask me, and every time I get a question like, Pari, is healing okay? What is healing? Or I'm a Reiki healer. How does this work for me? So there's a lot of questions that come when we do these meditation sessions, and I wanted to dedicated a whole class just to talk about energy tools today. What is healing? So let me give you a brief background before I start sharing. When I was 6 or 7, I always or 6, 7 or 8. My mother was at that time, when I was probably 3 or 4, she got initiated into intense meditation. She would meditate like 8 hours, 10 hours, all night meditation. At one point, she used to wear just, in Telugu, we say kashaya vastralu, means just wearing orange clothes for so many months. And she was a very intense person. My father was a stalker. So in Carlos Castaneda, he's a great spiritual master. He wrote many books on one of his favorite book. I forget the name. I'll get the name of that book written by him. So he shares something like stalkers and seers. So there are two kinds of people: stalkers, seers. Stalkers are somebody, we all have clairs. Everybody have clairs. There is clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, everybody. And how do you know what is your clair? How do you learn most easily? Visually, listening, reading, feeling. How do you learn? Based on that, you would know what is your clair. That is the most simpler version, but of course we can get deeper into it. So he was a stalker. That means he would just know. There is no kind of a logic, or he heard something. He would just know. That is stalker. And my mother was a seer. She would see things. She would have visions. She would travel. She could do astral traveling, and she would share all these experiences. And one day in her meditation, she was, by the way, again to give a background, she was a big ardent follower of I forget his name. She's gonna kill me. I forget the person she follows.
Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, you're saying?
No, Madhva's
Ramana Maharishi?
Ramana Maharshi.
Madhva teacher.
Sai Baba.
No. Oh gosh, she's gonna kill me. I'm gonna call her and ask if somebody can call my mother and ask who she follows. Okay, she used to follow this guy. He's a guru who had live samadhi as well. He got live samadhi, and then one day in her meditation she saw Jesus Christ, and he gave her initiation into healing. He taught her healing techniques. And now I'm talking about 1980s, where there is not much information out there about healing, about like how in today's world is. There's not much information. There's no internet. There's just books and even in books it's not really written so detailed. And what she would do is, wherever she goes, she would take it upon her. So she would go, she did very intense work. I mean, things like possessions, like, she would, people would come to home and ask her to work on them. So she would do very intense work. And after she goes and she comes back, she would be on bed. And I remember at 8 years old, I would go clean up, I would go cook food, because she was on bed. Because she's taken the stuff. And after a few years, my father said, okay, no more, let's just not do this anymore. And then she stopped. And another, that was my first hand healing experience of seeing at home, like how healing is happening. There were many mysterious experiences back then. It's something that when I came to US, I would not even talk about it because nobody would believe me when I talk about it. So I would even not mention that these things would happen. And the other thing is, I was also learning about crystals at that point. Crystals were a very big part. There was one yogi who came, and even the I don't know if I mentioned the story of how the Kannur pyramid crystal has come. It is another miraculous. In the Kannur pyramid, every pyramid, in the apex there is a crystal. In every pyramid that is built in India. So the crystals amplify the energy, and especially when they are put in the apex, it is extremely powerful. So the first crystal that came has come from a yogi in Himalayas. He came. Nobody knows where Kannur is. I don't even know if many of you know where Kannur is. And it is in Andhra Pradesh, a very small town. Again, in 1990s, this guy came from somewhere in Himalayas and said, this was supposed to be given here to you to put in that pyramid. And that was a miraculous story. Like, how did this guy know? Who asked him to come? How did this information travel all the way to Himalayas? And who gave this crystal to be put in the pyramid? So that was a pretty miraculous thing on how the crystal, how the crystal was put. So like this, there are many miraculous things that happened, that it was very normal. It wasn't something very out of the thing. Okay, it just happened. He knows, he came. The other thing is, there's one of the students of my father, his name is Dr. Newton. And he was starting to learn past life regression back in 90s. So one of his guinea pig was me. So he started, I was a young child, he started doing hypnotherapy on me. And at that time, I just knew Telugu. I didn't know Hindi much at that point, because I was in a small town. I never spoke Hindi, so I didn't know Hindi much. And he hypnotized me, and I went into my past life, and I was I was singing Punjabi songs at that time. I wish there was a phone, somebody could record that. But I was singing songs, and I was born in a place called Ambala, one of my lifetimes, and I was a healer. And I took somebody else's cancer, and I died in that incarnation. And now all of this may sound really strange for some of you who probably are listening about past lives and all of these things for the first time. But there has been extreme. I mean, there's so many books on that. Many Masters, Many Lives. One of his inspiration at that time, one of all of our inspiration at that time, written by Brian Weiss. That was my liberating. As a teenager, I would read that book, and it gave me such great depth to look at life, to see that life is bigger than what we see, and not taking everything seriously. So that book really helped. I recommend for every teenager to read that book, Many Masters, Many Life. So that is how I knew that healing was a part. But also there's a big lesson that I've learned is never do healing to others. We never heal others. We only heal ourselves. So there is no God complex that I am a healer and I heal others. There was never that God complex, because we never heal others. And when we do that, it creates a karmic imbalance. It creates a karmic block. So everybody chooses their lessons and come. We have to go through that lessons. And if we interfere in somebody else's lesson, we again create a karmic balance out of that. So this was something that I've learned all my life. And I came to US, and in 2012, I met a lady called Ilona Silky. She and her husband Don Paris. They are great spiritual leaders, and they have done great work in something called radionics, which I will share in just a minute. This is one of the device they use, radionics. It's a frequency tool which I'll share in just a minute. So I was living in Boston, and he came to visit US in 2012, and until 2012. So I came to US in 4. Okay, I came to US in 4, and until then I was completely shut down from who I was, what I know about. If you had met me back then, you wouldn't know that I even meditate. I wouldn't even talk about meditation. I was a completely different person. But in 2012, that is when I suspect things started shifting in me with his visit. I went to Seattle with him to accompany him for classes, and she lived in one of the islands in Seattle. Beautiful house, beautiful, surrounded by water. It was amazing. So I went there, and that is where that is, by the way, August 14th, 2012 is the time when I quit coffee forever. I never touched coffee after that. Something happened there. It just like, sometimes when you're with masters, that one presence is enough to activate certain portals. And I went there, I met them, and that's when that whole detox, I threw up all night in their house. I ate the food, I threw up all night, I quit coffee. And then Ilona looks at my hands and says, "Oh, you have healing hands." I'm like, "What? No way. That is not something that I associated with. That is, I don't even believe in all that." So that was my even thinking. And then that is when he invited Don Paris to teach me how to work with this in 2012. So since then, things have shifted about understanding what is energy, what is pyramids, what is quantum physics. Slowly, for me, the awakening started in 2012, 13, I got into crystals, 14, 15, completely into understanding energy work. So this is a story of what energy work, but let me explain what is healing. Healing is something healing is all about connecting to your source without any distortion. Without any distortion. Any distortion that separates you from the source. Any belief, any thought, any thinking, anything that which is not embodied in us, that says that I am one with the source, I am one with the God, I am God. This whole understanding, aham brahmasmi, this understanding, when it is not embodied, any fear, any belief that shows up creates a distortion, which when amplified gets dense and shows up in your physical body. There are 7 bodies, and all of those are written in this book. I got the wrong book. The Richard Gerber Vibrational Medicine, a beautiful book that talks about all of this if anybody is interested to learn more. So when a toxic thought or a belief is amplified, gets dense, that manifests first as emotional, mental, and then physical disease or illness when it is completely in lower vibration. This is what happens. So remember, everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Said by Nikola Tesla. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. When the energy is in higher frequency, higher vibration, you are, that means emotions, the right thoughts, When you have words, when you have that, the illnesses vibrate in the lower frequency. When you are here, and even a fear you hold of your partners, it may be not yours as well. When we have sex, when we are emotionally attached with anyone, we hold their energy in our bodies. When you're emotionally connected, so it can be a fear you're holding of somebody else's, which is vibrating in that lower frequency, and that can attract trauma, that can attract diseases into your life. So it is a complex system of subtle energies. So energy work is not something very simple. Energy work, even right now we are having energy exchange. When I give handshake, it is energy exchange, energy work. When we cook food, we put energy into the food, we share the food, that is energy work. We are constantly doing energy work. Everybody here is an energy worker. You're just not aware of it. Now, understanding how energy works and how can you transfer that with intention is a practitioner. That is who becomes a practitioner, energy practitioner. So one of the biggest thing that I don't subscribe to healing practices, like whether it is Reiki or anything, one of the things is, if I am a Reiki practitioner, I can just put up a website and say, I will offer Shashi Reiki class for 1 hour, $100, whatever that is, or even for free. And she can book with me without even talking to me. The thing is, always you must heal taking permission. You must, whose permission? Not Shashi's permission, her higher self permission. Is it okay for me to work with Shashi or not? Only if I get a yes, I should work. If no, there was a time when I remember there was one doctor, alternative healing doctor, and she said, hey, I would love for you to connect with my clients, and they love crystal healing, energy work. And I was like, at that time I was practicing, I was learning and doing some practice, and I said, sure, I would love to offer. And she had one of her clients come and see me, and I did a whole crystal healing session. And I remember at the end of the session, I had severe headache. I completely bypassed all the protocols that I know I should do, but I did not follow. I had severe headache. My stomach was turning, because when you do that without the permission, you get an energy whack. That is so real, so real. So and again, the universe telling me that, okay, do not interfere, always take permission. So any kind of energy work when you're doing, it's important to take the higher self for permission. And how do you get connected to higher self? Through meditation. So meditation is the foundation. That first, only when you're a meditator, you're more grounded and you can be a better practitioner. With that, let me start sharing what are the different kinds of energy tools. There are different energy tools. What are the different kinds? Okay. So this is a presentation where I would like to share with you these are just few energy tools. There's definitely no way we can cover all the energy tools. Share, okay. All right. So as always, we will start with a quote. The cause of disease in the body is ever the mind dissipating its energy. A haphazard mind, a jungle-like mind, a low-energy mind is the actual source of all disease. So what he's saying is, the mind is a very, very powerful tool. What happens there? Everything is a projection. First in the mind, next as matter. There's a great video that I'll share in our group, which is talked about the transcendental meditation, Maharishi Yogi. How everything is first in the mind and then it becomes matter. And of course, the quote, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. One of my favorite scientists. So it is all about alignment. It is all about how do you align your intention, your emotions, and your vision. When you align these energies, you start manifesting, creating matter, and getting in alignment with the source, removing all distortion. That's how we start healing ourselves. See, if I had thyroid, and I used to take synthroid 0.75 mg every single day after my pregnancy. And at that time I lived in complete, I wouldn't raise my voice. I was a total people pleaser, only speak what Navya would like, just say that. I would never speak my truth. There was some email that I got. I was so happy to see that. So I have this to book time with me. There's an application, and you fill it up and you send. And in one of the applications, one person wrote, I get scared of how bold you are, but I feel like this is the time for me to talk to you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if she knew who I was 10 years back. It took a lot for me to be bold and talk like this. And now she's saying that she's scared of seeing me being bold. And I that just like whoa, it took a lot for me to be here. I was not this way before. But it just kind of gave me a like, oh wow, the people think that I am bold. It was just interesting. So everything is alignment. And when I started speaking my truth, that's when I healed my thyroid. And I got out of the medicine. So speaking your truth is not taking a crystal, or this is malachite, by the way, taking a crystal and putting it on here and thinking that everything is healed. No, it is being with the truth, speaking your truth, walking the truth, and aligning yourself with these tools. Create those change, unblock your chakras. So this is called vibrational tuning. So what we are calling is, one thing that I love, which I share, is vibrational layering. This is what I love. What is vibrational layering? You take one intention and you layer similar frequencies with it to manifest in a very powerful manner what you want. Say, for example, I want a job. Okay, I'm looking for a job and I want a job. This is a job. For a job, you need confidence, you need focus, you need direction, and you need action. All of this is your third chakra qualities: willpower, confidence, third chakra, solar plexus. So I remember in Maryland, after I left my long-term job because I had kids, and after 11 years, I was giving an interview for the first time, and I was like, okay, I don't know. And I was very specific about exactly what I want, how much pay I wanted, which company, and how should it be. I wrote everything in a paper. I had the picture somewhere. Hopefully I'll find it. And then November, everybody said, Pari, November, nobody hires in November. December is coming. Everything is getting closed. No, don't start afresh in Jan. But as always, I don't go by other people's realities. We create our own reality. Always remember. So I said, okay, no, I'm going to start looking at, Indeed, Dice, whatever, all that, and started putting out my resume. And I left it. I knew exactly what I wanted. I wrote that, and I started working on my solar plexus. And that's when in November, and I remember email came saying, hey, we want to talk to you. Our directors want to talk to you. And then there was another interview set in, of course, January. And then I got the job started by March. And that's exactly what I've written in that paper. So how I could achieve that, and that's what I'm sharing. The complete blueprint is vibrational layering. So I worked on my third chakra. I would eat all yellow stuff, mangoes, papaya, oranges, to give that energy, and always intentionally. This is called vibrational tuning, being very intentional. Whatever you do with intention to work on that energy. because energy, when it has an intention, it goes in a direction, otherwise it is everywhere. But when there is intention, you're channeling it through. So there are many different technologies or frequencies that you can align with, and all of these are something you align as complementing. You can, even if you're on some medication or whatever, you can complement it. It is no there is no problem in complementing, and that's what I've done. So one of the things, of course, ancient technologies, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, Ayurveda, plant medicine, Tai Chi, yoga, all of these are very ancient. Acupuncture, those meridians, they complete design was laid out even before the Western medicine talked about the nervous system, where everything is. Thousands of years old. How did they know all of these things? You know how the Western medicine was birthed? When they started studying in secret the dead bodies. They would take out the dead bodies, start studying it, and that's how the Western medicine the evolution started. So they never considered the factor of prana, the life force, in Western medicine. Whereas in Eastern medicines, it's all begins with prana, the life force. So there's a very drastic difference between, even in Europe, when I went to Europe, the grocery store, like their pharmacists have recommend flower essences for any kind of flu or anything. That is what the doctor prescribes. Only in US we see this as alternative medicine, not the real medicine. In everywhere else, it is the first medicine they give, even in Europe. So but that was pretty interesting to see that they're giving flower essences as a treatment for a cold in the pharmacy. That was very liberating to see that. So these are some ancient technologies which are there, really powerful. And I remember when I was going through IVF, I used to go get acupuncture done. That was the first time I experienced acupuncture. I loved it. It was so amazing. I could feel the energy flow through my body, and somehow I feel like all of these things together created a change within when you apply all of that together. The next thing, this is something that I used to learn about in my childhood, chromatherapy, which is color therapy. So you have the different chakra colors. There's a whole machine where there are different chakra colors, and you sleep under it and they focus on your chakras, and there's healing happening. So and today red light therapy is super blown out, that how it is so effective in everything. So chroma is one of the powerful techniques in that is why I said, when you're working with third chakra, eating all yellow, wearing yellow clothes, and aligning with the right flower essences. By the way, this is something, the right flower essences. One of the practitioner is, these are all the essences where you take the flowers and take the essence and mix with brandy, and you make a powerful essence. You just, like homeopathy medicine. Did you know all this Ayurvedic, homeopathy, flower essences, these are all voltage increases. They increase your voltage. They are alkaline in nature. Anything alkaline is good for you. Western medicine, on the other hand, is all acidic. Voltage, the more voltage you have, the higher electricity. That means the higher electricity running through the life force running through your body, the more focused you are, the high energy you are. And even if you know there's so much thing about NAD right now, mitochondria, about anti-aging thing. What is NAD? NAD is the energy exchange to keep that going, to keep the whole system going. There's another thing called methylene blue, which is the actual boosting of energy, which is like electricity. It increases your electricity, methylene blue. So these are all anti-aging things that are so popular right now. And when you think about it, the more alkaline you are, the more voltage you have, the higher energy. You don't feel exhausted. You are more energy. And that's how I keep my energy high, is by being alkaline, drinking alkaline water, food, having all of these essences around me. in terms of to increase frequencies. The another big thing which we in Indian for Indian culture it is very common, which is herbs. Using herbs in our food, but intentionally. Using them intentionally creates, you take more, sometimes we take vitamins, but it doesn't get into the body does not absorb it. But when you do intentionally and tell your body to absorb, it does. It is very, our bodies are very miraculous. So herbs are another great. There are so many, something like, this is fun again, me being the magic lover. Anise seed, the anise seed, that is used for removing any back biting gossip mongers around you. To remove all of that, we use anise seed. So black pepper, sage, these are all negativity removers. So if we are making essences, we use all of these herbs in it with intention to give somebody, to remove the negativity in their houses. So they're very very powerful, but again with intention, with the right intention, not with the negative intention. When we use them, it is powerful. So the other thing is, of course, flower essences. Flower essences are beautiful, amazing. The highest vibration, of course, is, any guesses? What is the highest frequency flower of vibration?
Jasmine.
Which one?
Jasmine, is it?
Jasmine, yes, jasmine is high, but the highest frequency. Rose, Hetal, yes. Yes, rose is the highest frequency flower. If you are ever depressed, try this. This is given by Ray Chandran in a book called DNA of the Spirit. He's one of my dear friends. He does channeling from the Pleiadians, and he wrote many, many great books. What he says is, you take a bowl of water, put some rose petals in it, and just put your feet in it for a few minutes. You will see instantly your mood is shifted. It is so powerful. So the rose is such a powerful, and that's why we use it for love, for intense, for passion, for that. Thank you, Sandhya, for sharing that. That's why even the rose frequency. Rose, by the way, flower essence is the most expensive one. The one I buy is $275, just the rose, 55 ml. So extremely, extremely expensive, but are very, very powerful. So flower essences, all of these are Alaskan essences. If this is something that I prescribe anyone based on what ailment they have. For example, I'll just read a couple of things. For example, let's see. Wild iris, okay, the flower wild iris. Indications, what it is used for. Lack of belief in our own capacity to create, blocking creative expression because of an unwillingness to share it with others, disconnected from the source of our creativity. That is when you use wild iris flower essence to drink, to work on that creative, which is basically your second chakra, your emotional center, the creative center, where you use another crystal which is called the carnelian. When you align these two, this is called vibrational layering. Now we are bringing somebody who is creative, it's not coming up, you want to do something but you don't know what to do, your creative expression is not flowing, then you start activating your second chakra, connecting to your roots and understanding what is it truly you want to give. So this is wild iris, just for example of how these flower essences are working. The next one is sound therapy. Of course, sound therapy is something that is very common now. So everybody is a sound therapist now. One of the things, of course, we talked about this in the music meditation talk. This is not something new. This is not a new age thing. This has been there since the beginning where Pythagoras talking about the music of the spheres. It has been there forever. Now, sound therapy has many different things, like which sound to work with, for which we can use it as vibrational layering also. For each chakra, there is a sound associated with it. Each chakra, there is also a yoga pose associated with it. a mudra associated with it. So when you understand this sign, these are all signs. When you understand and bring it together, it gets very powerful. So sound is one of my favorite ways to cleanse the home. Just by doing this, you clear the energies in the house. Just 2 minutes. So even, just getting a crystal bowl, and you can just experiment and see if you are feeling down, depressed, and just give them this crystal bowl for 5 minutes. Let them play. Immediately you will see that their frequency has shifted, and they are much not in the same place they were before. So there's very instant benefits you will see with sound therapy, and that's why it is so common, because people are want that instant fixes. I'm stressed, I want some relief, let me go to a sound bath. But again, these are all temporary. It is not something that will stay with you forever until you change from within. But you can combine with the practices what you have. It is a very amazing complementing. So the next one is biofeedback. This is where I was showing this. This is called SE5. This works on the principle called radionics. This is what I've studied in 2012 with Don. At that point, this was like $5,000, which he gave for free. And so what do you do is so I say if I have to work on Ruchita, and then she tells me, hey, I have this problem, I'm feeling low in energy, can you check up on me? So what I do is I take her hair, or I take her picture on a white background, and then I put it, the sample goes here, or the picture is, you connect this to a computer and there's a whole software to it, and you upload the picture, and I create her as a client, and I start analyzing. It is so amazing. It has like so many programs. There's so many other programs as well now. There's Healy, one of my dear friend Neeraj, he works on that, and he's a great practitioner. So what you do is you connect to that, and I run a bunch of programs, and I see what is going on. And also, first, before I check on her, I check interferences to see if there is any geopathic stress, any kind of interferences that are stopping me to work on her. So first I have to clear all this. There are sometimes even radiation that can interfere. So we have to see the right time to work on her, and that even tells you, and then it runs and it tells you exactly where the issues are, what is low, what is not low, vitamin D, vitamin E, which chakra, whatever is happening, and then we run a program to start balancing it. This is what I've done for all my children when I've got them vaccinations. Because I have to give them. So I used to run on them every single day to kind of take those effects, reverse those effects. So, and also, by the way, this is the machine that I used to find out where to move from Maryland. I knew I had to move to California, but I didn't know where. So this is what told me. I put a map in front of me and I asked, okay, where should I move for my work? Which is where I'm needed, and it showed exactly Irvine, not LA, not San Diego, Irvine, and that is where I moved, and that is what we made it happen. So very interesting on how these biofeedback tools work. This is made in Germany. Most of these tools are actually made in Germany. Germans, they are very much into science and occultism from before, from ages. So, so this is, and Healy is another device which I would love, if anybody is interested, I can ask Neeraj to come do a presentation on that. My now dear friend Fiona had great experience with that, and she bought that as well. So, yeah, Hetal also worked. He's amazing. So if anybody wants any reference, I would highly recommend him. Then comes crystals. These are divine beings. They are like friends. They help you, they guide you, but they are not going to do work for you. You want to do the work. So crystals are very high vibrational, very high frequency, and they are like computer chips. You can store information, and that information get emanated in the frequency. So I have a crystal grid for my business, for my health, for kids' room, for everything. I create a crystal grid probably in every room you will see, because they are amazing in doing. Once you program them, they are doing their work. They are activating that work, and you will see the energy shift so subtly. It's not like something you will see immediately. It is very subtle. You'll start seeing. For example, there was a time when I was so mad at my husband, and I was like, this is not get working out, especially when you're pregnant. And at that point, I was so mad at him that he was not doing all the work. My mother was doing all the work, and so forth. And that is when I was like, okay, there is no point in fighting. There's no, and I sometimes we forget what we talk. Sometimes we forget what we teach. And that was a time where I forget everything what I was doing, and I was constantly blaming, constantly in blame mode. And suddenly I remembered, blaming and complaining is not going to get better, because it was only getting worse at that point. So that's when I decided, okay, let me try something. And I took out the crystal grid. I created a grid and put it under our bed. And I made me and with him, I made him sign and write an affirmation together and sign on it. Though he didn't believe, and I just made him sign. I put it under the grid and put it there. And what I did was also shift into gratitude, saying thank you more. Even if he did one thing small, because I was expecting so much. Oh, you didn't do laundry, you didn't do this, I am sick, I am carrying the baby, my mother is here. You have so much of expectations at that time. And I said, okay, whatever, let me forget everything. Even if whatever is doing, let me say thank you. So the gratitude, and subtly, and from there, in 2 months, everything shifted. It was so drastic change that life has changed. So how these tools work are very subtle energies. They are not like loud that you will see them instantly. But with your mindset, with your energy, and aligning these tools, you will start seeing the difference. And that's how we create sacred spaces in our own homes. We don't have to go anywhere to Himalayas to meditate. We can create. I would love Suma to share her sacred space picture in the group sometime. Suma, if you're okay with it, I love your sacred space. Something that you could create in your own home, which is so amazing. How to reprogram crystal. Rashmi, we'll have to do another crystal class for that. If you have time, I'll talk about it. The next one is sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is another great way to creating an intention, solidifying an intention. So everything starts from 5 platonic solids. There are 5 platonic solids which are discovered or given by Plato. That's why they are called platonic solids. The cube, the sphere, the triangle, tetrahedron, icosahedron, dodecahedron. These are the 5 solids which are the sacred geometry, which everything else is built on that. Whether you see flower of life, whether you see Sri Yantra, Markaba, any geometry, everything is built on that. So these geometries, the shape itself has certain frequency, certain information. And that's what we call, when we see a crop circle, the geometry, the complex the geometry, the complex, the higher density the beings are from and that have been created. So the communication is done through geometry, crop circles, that's what they are. And there's a whole, again, we can get, that's a whole different rabbit hole that we can get into to talk about crop circles. So when you do a crystal grid, how you do is, crystal grid is anything you keep, you put crystals in a specific geometry. It has to be precise. The more precise it is, the higher the resonance it has. Say for example, quartz, this is clear quartz. Quartz, its basic crystal system is hexagon. So when you align a crystal, a quartz with a hexagon sacred geometry, it has more resonance because of the principle called law of entrainment. Law of entrainment, it has more resonance. So when you understand the crystal system, which crystal will go to, like for example, pyrite. Pyrite is crystal system is cube. So when you put a pyrite in a cube pattern, it has more resonance. So understanding this is understanding a structure and understanding the science behind it gives a more higher resonance to work with your intention. So that's sacred geometry. And you could also wear people, you probably will see people wearing sacred geometry pendants and stuff. I would always wear a Metatron. That used to be my still since I've started, Metatron has been my guiding force. And I would always have that, and it creates that amplified frequency shifts when you are more in tune with that geometry. Of course, the next one is energy work. This is where the Reiki healing, hands-on healing, pranic healing, all of this comes. All of this is great, but again, understanding the protocol. First, we need to learn the protocol, how to do it, how to work with it. And in everything you can do, when you're guiding a meditation class, you can do energy work from a very not objective place, but just in a general way of so everybody could feel that. So there's a lot of ways. Cooking food, energy work, everything is energy work, but when you do intentionally and understand the mechanics behind it, it gets really powerful. How to I'm seeing Rashmi's which crystal for removing blockages, money blockage, difficulty finding the right job. Rashmi, I do not recommend crystals. What I would suggest is go to a crystal store and just look around, see what you're attracted with, and you will be called to a crystal. A crystal will choose you. It's not the other way around. This is what I've been talking about, vibrational layering. So, but the bottom point is be in the now moment. Who is a great practitioner? A practitioner who is a great energy. There are a lot of energy workers, but a practitioner is who lives in the now moment, who is grounded. But if you're not grounded, a practitioner is not grounded, somewhere else, doing something else, the energy, because you have to become an instrument of energy, the energy has to flow through you. And the energy worker is somebody who holds the frequency, not does the healing. You never do any healing, you just hold the frequency. So you can only hold when you are in the now moment, when you are grounded. And the third point is law of non-interference. We never interfere with anybody else's karma. We don't come in between. We respect everybody's free will. That is the beauty of Earth planet, that we respect free will. I was just reading, again, this is tangent. There is this drug, which again, I was going through the Epstein files and all that. And then there's a drug that would come out where when somebody takes that, it will completely erase your memory and take away your free will. And I could do anything with you. I could ask you to do anything with you. So these are all some things that one of the things, the most thing that you have as a sovereign being is free will. No being, no entity, nothing can come and do anything to you unless you say yes. And most often we give away our power because we live in fear. When you live in fear, you can be controlled. So fear is the biggest enemy, the thing that takes us down into the lower frequencies. The more higher you are, the more in love you are, the more in the knowing you are, nothing can affect you. No other entity can affect you. And again, at the end, working all of this from a no ego point. I am not having, I am the healer, I am doing this. That is when you lost the game. When you have I. Working from a no ego space is the highest frequency from a neutral standpoint, knowing that your life is happening. So there are 4 stages. Michael Beckwith, if you know this guy, you must have seen him in the Secret movie. He talks about, first, life is happening to me. First stage, life is happening to me. Second stage, life is happening by me. I create my reality. The third is, life is happening through me. Third stage. And the fourth stage is, there is no me. That is the fourth stage. So these are the 4 stages, and we all live through 4 different stages. It's not just a linear fashion. We jump around in the 4. So understanding where, how the life is happening, it is not happening to you, it is happening through you, and at the end there is no you. Everything is one. That is comes when you connect to the source through meditation, and that's what we are doing here, is connecting to the source through meditation. It's one of the it's like a job requirement to be an energy worker. You got to meditate. It's one of the job requirement. And the food, I can totally see if I eat all spicy masala stuff and I'm sitting for a energy work session, it doesn't happen. There's a lot of interferences. That is why sattvic food helps ground better, be in the moment, and work with these. You become more sensitive to energies. Sattvic food, right words, right, and even clothes. If you wear clothes that are not, or synthetic and not the right clothes, and things on your body, it will affect your frequency, by the way. So there are so many. There's a dear friend called Christina Eltrayan. She's a pranic healer. You know who pranic healers are? Google Jasmoheen, and there's a movie called Eating Light on Gaia TV. They don't eat food for years. No food. They don't eat food. They eat cosmic energy. So these are cosmic prana. So is the whole process. One day that is the aim. From vegetarian, vegan, fruitarian, breatharian, and the cosmic energy. So the evolution. So they don't eat food, which is pretty amazing. For years together, they don't eat food. And they look very healthy. They are very healthy as well. So connecting to source. One of the video I just found, even that I'll share. It is from the secret society that says the secret to be healthy is to fast. The more fasting you do, the more healthy you are. And we have been made to believe that we have to eat 3 times a day, which put toxins in our body and never give time to heal, and we take medicine again and again and again. So fasting is one of the powerful way to heal your body, to repair your body. So connecting to source, and I would highly recommend to go back to PSS movement and just check out these 18 principles. Just check them out and read them again. And I would love our admins to post that in our group. Just read them again. With all of this we've talked about, see it from a different perspective. How does it make sense? So I would ask you to do that, request you to do that. And this is a picture from the vibrational medicine book, where you can see homeopathy medicine work only until your etheric body. Gem elixirs, they go all the way to a mental body. Flower essences, they go up to the causal body. They are the deepest that work on you. So flower essences, as I said, when you work with them, they create deep healing, very deep healing when you're working on that. This is the picture from there. Okay. This is a multi-dimensional model of healing. With this, I am going to stop today's session. Thank you so much. It was, I know I wanted to get everything done in time. We have 3 minutes. But this is a very fascinating subject. Probably half an hour is not enough if we have to go through each topic. One of the things I almost forgot is to talk about the essential oils. Essential oils are another amazing tools to raise your frequency. Putting it in your smoothies, it's just simple. Like take a water. This is clear quartz. Thank you for stopping. This is clear quartz. All you have to do is, there are only certain crystals you can do, not everything. Program this, put that in the water, and you can drink this. Clear quartz can be put in water. Not every crystal you can put, because disclaimer, please don't say Pari has to put and then drink, because there are certain crystals that you do not put in water. It becomes toxic. So this becomes your high vibe water. Put that under a pyramid. Pyramids, we didn't talk about it, but put that under a pyramid. This is your high vibrational healing water, and you drink it. You can use it in washing your clothes, washing your dishes, cleaning your house, creating a whole vibration in your entire space. So, and you can create an essence. Just take half part of water, like creating moon water with new moon water. Take half part and mix it with 40 grade alcohol. Mix it with alcohol and you create an essence. This is a recipe, by the way. So you can create a rose quartz essence. You can create a black tourmaline essence, any essence, and then put it in a bottle and you can spray it around. That becomes your sacred space cleanser. Very simple. So all of these are recipes that you can create. If you don't like alcohol, you can put apple cider vinegar, however it is. So with that, I would stop today's session, and if any questions, please feel free. I'm gonna. Yes, Pradeep.
Hi, Pari. Thank you so much for the session. There was so much information. One thing I wanted to share was from last 1 year or so, I've been experiencing bouts of depression. For last month or so, I've been averaging 2 to 3 hours every day with the meditation, right? So is it as simple as increasing the meditation time more, or is there anything more that I can actually do?
So you're saying that you're experiencing signs of depression.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So see, depression is a form of fear. Fear of something that happened in the past. When you rehash those stories again and again and think about it, it is another form of fear which keeps you in survival mode, which keeps you in a flight mode. That is, you want to shut out from everything, from everyone. You don't want to talk to anybody. So this is exactly what we was in fact studying yesterday in our class. So the thing about depression is at sometimes the great way is sound. Sound is another very high frequency tool that you could incorporate, and also vocals, singing. Have you ever tried singing, Pradeep?
No, I never tried.
So try vocals, like saying Om, Ram,
Okay.
like chanting, like things like that.
Okay.
Use your vocals, open up your vocals,
Okay.
and just practice that opening up, and let it come from your stomach, from your nabi,
Okay.
and express, like, just in your own time, like in your own room.
Mm-hmm.
The sounds help, they clear a lot of stuff, emotional baggage. So try
Okay.
vocals, try music, listen to the flute music,
Uh-huh.
and and I'm so glad you're here. I mean, all of this you're hearing, every information will bring light. Every time you hear this information will shift something inside. So I'm so happy you're here, Pradeep.
Yeah, I'll try those, Pari. Thank you very much.
And let me know. You can message me anytime, by the way. Please feel free to message me. Let me know what's happening. I would love to be in touch with you.
Yeah, sure. I'll definitely do that. Yep. Yeah, I just last weekend, I actually had a past life regression session with Chris Alisa. She was referred to me by QLU. So yeah, I just had one session. She recommended more sessions for me. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know what's happening. I would love to hear from you, and shift. Thank you,
Yep.
Pradeep.
Yep.
Yes, hi, Ruchita.
Hi, so I think connected to Pradeep's question. So I have another one, but let me just go with what he said because it's relevant to me. Like he said, I had also been suffering from depression for about a good part of 2 years, which kind of went away because I was meditating a lot. And now, for some reason, around this time, it is beginning to resurface. And I'm kind of trying to understand, is it like, because I'm doing this 40-day thing, things are coming to a surface and it might fizzle out?
Yeah, see, we go in cycles, we go in timelines. Whenever that timeline comes, similar energy frequencies get activated. So even the past lives, now I'm going deeper. Your past, your future, and your present is happening at the same time. Right now, you're living your past, you're living your future. And there is always for the soul in that cyclic pattern, when that particular time comes, it maybe you were killed in your one of your lifetimes right now. It may be nothing to do with this lifetime as well, or it may be from your childhood, but at that certain, it doesn't matter when it happened. That is why, on the contrary, I would, when we talk about past life regression, on the contrary, to go and understand which lifetime it happened, it doesn't matter because it's a story. It doesn't matter where it happened, but in this moment, you have the decision to make, to say, okay, whatever has happened. And this is where that Ho'oponopono prayer is very powerful, like saying that I forgive, thank you very much, and I love you. We don't need to know the reason. Of course, sometimes people like to know the reason why this happened to me, why am I going through. But for healing to really happen, you don't need all that in this moment. So in that cyclic moment, this is where now you need to start changing the pattern. This is the moment, because it has resurfaced again, because this is a cycling thing that is happening. And if you don't do it now, it will happen again. It will come back again. So this is the moment to change. It can be even your ancestral trauma, karma, that you are carrying from your mother, grandmother, and that is connected, because when you are in your mother's womb, you all automatically get transferred that karma. So it can be your ancestral karma as well, which you need to break it now. Otherwise, it will be carried to your daughter and your generations if you don't break it now. So that's why we say every time we heal our generations, future and past. So this is a very crucial time for you now to break and come out of it, whatever that is you're going through.
Okay. I think another question about the energy, we were talking about other people's energy, partner energy, because I think these are things that I attribute to when I started going through whatever I went through. And so even other people's energy, I felt like if somebody's come to my house who has this thing, I get left with it. Does that, like, I go, I don't emerge very fast. What is a way to break that cycle, without spiraling?
There is a process. First, learning how to create that boundary. That your fear is yours. It can be even your husband, your children. It is not my fear. Understanding that shield, and also cutting the cords. Especially when you have people over. Every time I have people over, and before and after, I do a whole sage cleansing of the house, and set intentions, proper intentions before they even come, that this is what I want in this house to be talked about. I set an intention. And surprisingly, you will see outside the house they may talk everything, but when they step into the house, they won't talk those stories. It is very powerful. So setting a tone for the house itself, before a gathering happens and after, clearing it out, and knowing the shield, like, this is not my fear, this is your fear. I know you love me, you're my husband, you're my father, you're my mother, I know you love me, but I will not accept your fears out of mine. In that moment, you make a decision. When you intentionally make a decision, you break that attachment. If you don't make a decision, you take that, you're saying yes, it is a consent. So, and that stays in our body, it stays. And also, never go to sleep crying, angry. cleansing our bed is very important, because when we go sleep crying or feeling mad, energy gets stagnant under the bed, and it creates that environment in the relationship. So cleansing the energy in the bedroom is very important, important aspect. So it starts small. First is making the decision that I am a sovereign being. Your energy is not my energy. That doesn't mean that we don't love other person. We are just creating a boundary. Second is having some tools to shift, to for you to hold on to, for shifting that energy. So with small steps and cutting the cords. If you have very intense drama happening, cut the cords, and there's a process to it as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ruchita. Okay, so anything else? Shashi, we want to say anything today?
Okay. Yes, so many things. So, first of all, I want to say thank you to you and your family. We had a wonderful time here together. I'm still missing little ones actually. When Khushi came, my daughter, she was asking only one question. So, what Jiva was asking for me, what Nirvan was asking about me, she was like there, but she was kind of here also. And yes, we had a wonderful time. Thank you so much for coming. And I will say, yes, these that today's topic is so beautiful, a wonderful way you explain, and the energy tools which is I am using nowadays, which is pyramid. And I have seen actually very big difference. I sleep under pyramid, and I think Pradeep was asking questions like what he can add more. I think I can tell that like while he's doing meditation, do not forget pyramid on top of his head. It's definitely going to enhance his energy. And yeah, there's so many energy tools which is like we can use it. And I'm using that music bowl also sometimes. And what we call that a bell, right, in the temple. That
Yeah.
also I feel like it's a really means it really helps me when I'm just sitting, and then sometimes I can ring the bell. Yeah, there's so many magic, this energy tools, but that most important thing I feel from my side, that's my maybe experience, or from my side, increase your meditation time. So many things will heal itself. These tools will definitely going to help, no doubt. But as you are going to increase and sit in a meditation, I think that will, you can grab lots of cosmic energy, and slowly, you will feel like you will come out of all these problems, whatever, maybe the physical, mental, or materialistic, whatever the problems. Yes, and yes, this what I want to say. And thank you to all of you here. And thank you so much, Pari ma'am.
Thank you. So all I want to say is there are three things: meditation, read books, share your experiences. These are the three things at the end. I want to end on it. That the more, anytime you feel like meditation is not working out, you need more, get a book, read a book. There would be some information that will connect to you in that book. So I'm constantly reading. I read at a time 10 books. I don't just read one book. 10 pages here, 10 pages here, 10 pages here. That's how I keep reading books. It is so. Right now, I'm reading The Money and the Soul Plan by Robert Schwartz. So these are Robert. This is a great book, by the way. Soul Plan, amazing book to read. Again, Pradeep, try that book. It's a wonderful book to read and to understand what we create in this life. So Hari Prasad is saying how to cut cord. How to cut cord, it has to be a whole another session, not right here. But it is just, again, all I will say is start with intention. I release anything that is not mine, and I call back everything that is mine. From all the beds that I sleep, from all the plates that I eat from all the cars that I've driven, from all my co-workers, I bring my energy back. Probably one day we'll do it's called orange ball meditation. We'll do one day that to call back all the energies and release all of this. Maybe in the next couple of days we'll plan and then we'll announce it in the group. So thank you so much, masters. We'll see you again